Santorini, Greece is famous for its views, but many people don't realize that it's also home to one of the most distinctive white wines in Europe. The island's volcanic soils, ancient vines, and extreme growing conditions produce wines that taste like nowhere else in the world. In this video, I'll walk you through some of the very best wineries to visit in Santorini based on my personal experience, and I'll share a few travel tips at the end to help you plan your journey. But first, a quick overview of Santorini's wine scene. The star grape of Santorini is Assyrtiko. It produces white wines that are bone dry, with laser-sharp acidity, intense minerality, and flavors that can range from lemon and green apple to saline and flint. While it is often compared to Chablis, it has a distinctive Mediterranean quality to it. The particular expression of Assyrtiko can vary depending on the winemaking technique that's used. There are several different styles, so you'll definitely want to taste a variety of them to determine which ones you like best. You could find anything from more fresh stainless steel fermented examples to richer, more full-bodied examples that are matured in oak. I even tried a sparkling Assyrtiko, which I enjoyed very much. While many producers bottle 100% Assyrtiko, they also sometimes produce blends that include some local grapes as well, and these tend to be a little bit less expensive. But one thing I absolutely recommend is that you pair Assyrtiko with seafood. It's an incredible match for dishes like grilled octopus or oysters. Whatever you do, do not leave Santorini without trying Vinsanto, the island's historic sun-dried dessert wine. Vinsanto is made from late-harvested Assyrtiko and other local grapes that are laid out on mats and dried under the Aegean sun. This concentrates the flavors and sugars before the wine is slowly fermented and matured in oak, sometimes for an incredibly long time, up to 20 years or more. The result is a rich, amber-colored wine with notes of fig, raisin, espresso, and burnt caramel. While these descriptors sound sweet, and it is a sweet wine, it's also a very well-balanced wine due to Assyrtiko's naturally high acidity. Most top wineries offer a Vinsanto, and I definitely recommend that you try one, particularly with substantial age, if you get a chance. It's the perfect way to end a meal or a tasting at a winery. Santorini has one of the most unique viticultural landscapes in the world for a couple reasons. First, when you arrive, you'll see vineyards everywhere, but you may not recognize them as vineyards because they look nothing like what you see in places like Napa Valley. In Santorini, the vines are trained low to the ground in a circular basket shape called coulura. This helps to protect the grapes from the fierce winds and the harsh summer sun. Santorini is also interesting for viticulture because you'll find some extremely old vines here, many of them more than 100 years old and planted on their own rootstock. This is because a tiny aphid-like insect called phylloxera that's devastated some of the grapevines in other regions is not able to survive in Santorini's volcanic soils. These old vines can produce some special wines with intensely concentrated and very complex flavors and aromas. With that by way of background, let's discuss some of my favorite wineries to visit in Santorini. These wineries offer a wide range of experiences, from serious tastings with cellar tours to more relaxed visits focused on views, food, and wine by the glass. I won't discuss pricing here since experiences and costs change over time. Instead, I'll include a link in the description below to each of these wineries so that you can get the latest information straight from the source. Tucked beneath the volcanic cliffs of Santorini, Hatzidakis is one of the most distinctive wine producers on the island and also one of the most interesting to visit. Founded back in 1997, the winery is actually located inside a cave with dramatic views overlooking the vineyard and the Aegean Sea. The volcanic soils here are essential for the production of the winery's intensely mineral and high acidity Assyrtiko wines. The visit began with a winding yet informative tour through the cave cellars, where we learned about the winemaking philosophy for Hatzidakis. After that, we went to the barrel room and sat down for a comprehensive, in-depth tasting of the Hatzidakis lineup. While the entire Hatzidakis lineup was impressive, there's a wine that's called Skitali that was my favorite. This is a very special wine that's made in extremely small quantities, only 200 bottles per year. This wine is produced only in magnums, or double-sized bottles, and it matures for an extra year before they bottle it. We were able to do a comparison tasting between the 2021 and 2022 vintages of Scitali. The tasting finished on a strong note with a mature expression of Vinsanto from 2004. With additional time, Vinsanto can gain tremendous complexity, and this wine was deeply concentrated, yet incredibly well balanced. It showcased dried fruit, caramel, and vibrant acidity. In my view, the Hatzidakis wines are definitely among the best being produced in Santorini. So this is a winery that I strongly recommend if you're looking to experience Santorini wines at a serious level. Next up is a winery that has such amazing views that I would go there even if I didn't drink wine at all. Santo Wines is a high-quality cooperative that makes wine from fruit that it sources from hundreds of local producers. It's ideally and idyllically located right on the caldera with stunning panoramic views of the Aegean Sea. During my visit, mist rising from the cliffs made it seem like we were tasting wine in the clouds. While I certainly found the Santo wines to be high quality, Santo is actually a good choice for those who are not quite as interested in a detailed technical tasting. As the atmosphere is lively, there's typically some music playing, and you can come here just to enjoy a meal, perhaps with a glass of wine if that's your preference. As mentioned, winemaking techniques have a big impact on the finished expression of Assyrtiko. At Santo, they have 4 different styles, and so I did a comparison tasting of all 4 of them to determine which style I liked best. In my view, the 2 standouts included the Santorini Thiracori, which was textured, layered, and had a saline quality that I enjoyed, and also the Assyrtiko Grand Reserve, which was powerful, structured, and had tremendous complexity. There's a wide variety of wines here, which you should be able to try by the glass. Interestingly, they include one of the very few sparkling wines made on the island, and they also have an excellent Vinsanto as well. Estate Argyros is a must-visit for anyone interested in learning about Santorini's wine heritage. The winery traces its roots way back to 1903, and it's currently run by the 4th generation of the founding family. Argyros works with approximately 120 hectares of organically farmed vines, including some extremely old vines that date back more than 100 years. Argyros offers a comfortable, visitor-friendly experience. Their facility was just completed about 10 or 12 years ago and features state-of-the-art winemaking equipment. In my experience, Argyros makes some of the most age-worthy expressions of Assyrtiko from the island. I recently opened a bottle from 2016, and it was still showing beautifully, with additional complexity from bottle aging. They also have some excellent Vinsanto options, including some with extended aging. They have a variety of tourist experiences, so you should be able to find an option that works best for you and your group. If you're interested in a relaxed, low-pressure tasting where you can just enjoy wine right on the beach with stunning views of the Aegean Sea, then head straight to Gaia Winery. Not to be confused with the iconic Italian producer, Gaia Winery has been making wine in Santorini for 3 decades. Gaia seems to have excellent distribution internationally, as I've found their wines on many wine lists in the United States. Gaia has a number of different wines that you can try from other parts of Greece as well, including some red wines, but they have a diverse selection of high-quality Assyrtiko made in some different styles as well. In addition to the expected stainless steel and oak maturation options, they have some that are even matured underwater, and some wild ferment wines that are produced using native yeast and alternative maturation vessels. If you need a break from battling the crowds in Ia, Gaia is a great choice, as you can just relax and enjoy some wine on the beach. If you want to be like Mike, head to Gavalas Winery, which is where legendary NBA Hall of Famer Michael Jordan once visited. They still have a picture from that visit in their winery. Gavalas Winery is a 5th-generation, family-owned producer that dates back to the late 18th century. It offers an entirely different feel from some of the more modern wineries that I've discussed. For example, there's no Wi-Fi and no caldera views. Instead, you'll find traditional winemaking equipment used to make high-quality wines for a number of years, located in the village center in Megalochori. Gavalas works not just with Assyrtiko, but with some other local grapes as well. During my visit, one of the standouts was the natural ferment Assyrtiko, but the highlight was absolutely the ending, which included a tasting of 2 different Vinsanto wines, including an extremely special wine from 1967, which was definitely the oldest Vinsanto that I've tried to date. I've been to Santorini 2 different times so far, and I definitely learned a lot during my visits. So a few quick travel tips if this is your first time. First, if you're going to be coming from Athens, I strongly recommend that you fly rather than taking the ferry, as the flight is much, much faster. Second, I found that it works well to spend 3 days in Santorini. The first time, I dedicated 1 day to winery visits, and my most recent visit, I just did 2 different winery visits on different days. I found that it works well to balance winery visits with perhaps a bigger tour of the overall island and definitely some downtime for relaxation as well. If you want to try something different, they also have an ouzo distillery on the island, and I definitely enjoyed the tour of that as well. I will caution you that there's no Uber in Santorini, and taxis can be both scarce and expensive, so it definitely pays to plan ahead and try to stay in a hotel where it's close to many of the destinations that you want to visit, or make sure that you use a car service. While Ia is absolutely stunning, and it's definitely something that you have to see and experience at least once, the crowds can be intense, so I've found that it works out well to stay in other parts of the island. I really enjoy Megalochori. If you're interested in visiting other iconic wine destinations, please be sure to check out this video linked above, where I reveal some of my favorite wineries to visit in Napa Valley.